A reporter was interviewing a 65-year-old rodeo champion in Texas. The reporter said, you're really an extraordinary man to be a rodeo champion at your age. Heck, said the cowboy, I'm not nearly the man my dad is. He just signed to play pro football. He's 88 years old. Amazing, said the reporter. I sure like to meet your dad. Can't right now. He's out of town standing up for Grandpa. You see, Grandpa's getting married tomorrow. He's 114. Wow, your family is unbelievable, said the reporter. Here you are, a rodeo champion at 65. Your dad, he's a football player at 88. And now your grandpa, he wants to get married at 114. Hell, mister, you got that all wrong, said the Texan. If Grandpa didn't knock up that cheerleader, he wouldn't even have to get married. There was a guy who looked like a pretty high-powered executive, and he started to drop in at the neighborhood bar pretty regularly. His order was always the same, 2 martinis. Well, after a couple of weeks of this, the bartender says, how come you don't just get a double martini instead of always ordering 2 singles? It's a sentimental thing, the customer says. A dear friend of mine passed away a few weeks ago, and before he passed, he asked if, when I drink, I could have one for him too. Well, a week later, and the customer came in and only ordered 1 single martini. What about your buddy, the bartender says. Why only the 1 martini today? Oh, this? Well, this one's my buddy's drink, the man said. I quit drinking. Well, there was a mother who took her young daughter in to see a counselor and explained to the counselor that her daughter thought she was a chicken. Well, the counselor explained that sometimes young girls can have an overactive imagination and it's not that uncommon. So, how long has she actually thought she was a chicken? Said the counselor. Almost 2 years, said her mother. Wait. Your daughter has thought she was a chicken for 2 years? And you're just bringing her in here now? Well, the woman looked down and said, to be honest with you, Doc, we needed the eggs. Well, there was a police officer that stopped a guy that had had one too many. Well, the guy told him that his house was right there. The officer said, are you sure that's your house? Well, sure is, said the guy. If you just open up the door for me, I'll prove it to you. You see that piano there? The guy says. Yeah, I see it. Well, that's my piano. You see that TV set over there? Well, that's mine. Follow me, the guy says. So the police officer followed the guy up the stairs to the second floor, and the guy opened the first door that they came to. He says, you see this? This is my bedroom. You see that bed? And that woman laying there? That's my wife. And you see that guy laying next to her? Well, that's me. So a guy walks into a bar and the bartender says, hey buddy, what's the matter? And the guy says, well, a couple months ago my grandfather passed away and he left me $85,000. The bartender says, well, that doesn't sound too bad of an inheritance. Should happen to me, I would hope. Well, yeah, the guy says. But then last month, my uncle on my mom's side, he passed away. He left me 150 grand. So why are you sitting here looking so sad, said the bartender. Well, this month, nobody's dying. So a guy walks into a therapist's office looking pretty sad. Doc, you gotta help me. I can't go on like this. What's the problem? The doc says. Well, I'm 35 years old. I got no luck with the ladies. No matter how hard I try, I just seem to scare 'em away. My friend, this is not a serious problem, he says. You just need to work on your self-esteem. Every morning I want you to get up and run to that bathroom mirror. You tell yourself you're a good person, a fun person, and an attractive person. But you gotta say it with real conviction. Within a week, you'll have women buzzing all around you. The man seemed pretty content with the advice and walked out of the office a bit excited. Well, 3 weeks later, he came back with the same sad look on his face. What's wrong, bud? Didn't my advice work? It worked all right. Past couple of weeks, I've had some of the best moments of my life with some of the most fabulous looking women. So what's the problem, man? I don't have a problem, the guy said. My wife does. One day in Ireland, two guys were sitting in a pub having a few pints when one turns the other and says, "You see that guy over there? He looks just like me. I think I'm going to go over there and talk to him." So he goes over to the guy, taps him on the shoulder, and says, "Excuse me, sir. I noticed you look just like me." Second guy turns around and says, "Yeah, I noticed the same thing. Where are you from?" "Well, I'm from Dublin," said the guy. "Well, me too. What street do you live on?" "Well, I live on McCarthy Street." Second guy says, "Me too." "What number is it?" "162, the first guy says. "Me too." "What are your parents' names?" "Connor and Shannon." Well, the second man, almost dumbfounded, says, "Mine too. This is unbelievable." So they buy some Guinness, and they're talking and more when finally the bartenders change shifts. The new bartender comes in and goes up to the other bartender and says, "Hey, so what's new today?" Nothing much." Murphy twins are drunk again, though. Well, there was a gynecologist who decided it was time for a career change. He was fed up with his job and decided to change professions. One day, after seeing an ad for an auto mechanic school on TV, he decided he was going to sign up. So the doc studied very hard, gave it the same level of excellence he did when practicing medicine. Well, the day the final exam came, and the doc had to completely rebuild an engine, which he did in record time. When the grades are posted, he was surprised to see he'd achieved a score of 125%. He was pretty curious, so he went to speak to the instructor. He said, "Look, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth or anything, but how could I have gotten a score above 100%? "Well," the instructor said, "you took the engine apart perfectly. That accounts for 50% of the grade. You put it back together flawlessly. That accounts for the other 50% of the grade. And the extra 25% is because never in my life have I seen all of that done through the exhaust pipe." Hello, friends. It's your favorite idiot, Eddie. Which one of these jokes is your favorite? Leave it in the comments down below. Thanks. We'll catch you next time.